everybody, it's Mike here from The Art of Guitar. I thought I would have fun today. It's like 100 degrees outside, so I thought I would stay in the air conditioning in the studio here and just experiment a little bit and make a video out of it. It's going to be kind of a quick video. But what I did was I got the X100 pedal finally, this MXR pedal, the good old Boston tone. And I knew I had to get it, but it took a while because it was back ordered and a lot of people had to wait a long time to get this pedal. And I thought, you know, I already have the original Rockman. It's the headphone amp that you're supposed to, there's a little clip here for the belt. You could walk around and, you know, impress the ladies and stuff, but they wouldn't be able to hear you. That'd be the weird part. But I thought it would be really fun to, instead of doing another comparison video where we just said, hey, this is this sound compared to this sound, I think there's already a lot of those out there that I've seen. If not, I might make a second video with these two. But what I thought would be more fun today would be to create like a really short Boston sounding type track and record the guitar parts, bass, and drums, put them all together and see which unit sounds better in a full mix. So what I thought I would do is I would use a clean sound of some kind with chorus and then do a, you know, an edge it's called. It's like their overdrive setting, and do that as the main rhythm track, and then do some sort of dueling lead like Tom Scholz does with the, you know, extreme distortion setting. So I'm going to show you the full mixes at the end, but real quick, I'll just show you a part of each track. We only have those three different tracks, like I said, the clean, the rhythm, and the dueling lead. Okay, first we'll listen to the pedal, the X100 pedal clean sound part. Okay, now let's listen to the Rockman. I know they're both Rockmans, but I'll just call this the original Rockman. That's not a ripoff of More Than a Feeling, is it? Anyway, these sound-alike tracks are fun to do because you just take what already exists and you change it just enough not to get a copyright strike, you know? Pretty interesting, isn't it? If you A-B the two together back to back, it's almost like because there are two clean settings on these devices, it sounds like I used a different clean setting, but I didn't. Okay, I won't say much about my opinions between the two till the very end, but just formulate your own opinions as we go. Now let's check out the distorted rhythm track, which is on the edge setting for both of them. Now, this is kind of weird, but on the original Rockman, you have the chorus and you have a little bit of a echo, they call it. It's just a little slapback that happens. And you can never shut both of them off completely, which is very strange. You could either shut the chorus off and have the echo, shut the echo off and have the chorus, or have them both playing. So what I did for the rest of the tracks from here on out is I shut the chorus off. And I just have a tiny bit of echo. So that could color the sound a little bit when you listen to the different tracks, but just keep that in mind. Okay, it's really got that Tom Scholz sound, doesn't it? Okay, let's check out what the Rockman sounds like with the edge setting. Okay, this is cool, A-Bing between the two. Wait till you hear them in the full mix, though. It's going to be insane. Okay, now let's check out the dual lead sound. I put both tracks, you know, like, for example, if I use the pedal, I did two different takes with it, harmonizing. And so this is going to be the pedal version of the dual lead. I wrote this track in like a half hour, I think, and when I got done, I realized the first part sounds like Alice in Chains, and the second part sounds more like Boston, so we'll just call it Alice in Boston. Okay, let's do the Rockman version of the dual lead track. That joke sounded funnier in my head, by the way. You could probably hear a lot more noise with the original Rockman, and that just, you know, comes with the territory. Okay, now let's check out the full mix with drums and bass and everything put together. And this really kind of shocked me a little bit. So let's start off with the pedal, the X100 pedal version of the full mix. And then I'll talk about what I prefer and what I think the differences are. Okay, here we go. All right, so that was the X100 pedal used in a full mix situation. Okay, now let's check out the original Rockman. Okay, so here's my final thoughts, like overall thoughts about using each one. So the X100 pedal really blew me away. If you listen to the Rockman pedal mix, like if you toggle between the two different mixes, you'll probably hear if you have headphones on, that the guitar seemed to sit like in this interesting mid section. You know how it's already a very mid-range sound for Tom Scholz, but it's like up here. It's kind of hard to explain, but it just feels like it's sitting like right here in a really good place. When you go to the original Rockman, it opens up and it sits a little bit lower. This is the best way I can explain it, but it kind of opens up and it sits like wider. It seems to have more of a presence to it, especially if you listen to the two different clean sounds. This original Rockman has this like, not bite, but just a presence, kind of this sheen over the top of it. The pedal doesn't have that so much, but by the way, I did not EQ or add effects in Pro Tools, so I didn't do any of that stuff. No post-production with the guitar stuff. I did with the drums and the bass, but the guitars I left alone because I wanted you to hear what you would get with each unit. Now, the funny part is if you take the original Rockman and you record like a Boston song, let's say, in my opinion, it doesn't sound as Boston-y as the pedal version of it, just because it's almost like it's pre-mixed or something to sit in the right place in the mix. So if you're in a Boston tribute band, this would be the way to go. Another side note is I put both of these directly into my recording unit. So I have these preamp system that I plug right into with this. I did not go through an amp out of speakers into a microphone like I normally would when I'm recording guitar. So these are going to be the direct sound out of them. If you want to use them on stage, you know, just get what a lot of people use for, you know, modeler amps. They have these amps now that don't color the sound. So I would get that if I was going to use this live. But in the studio, I'm just going direct. So initially, when you hear the original solo tracks of this pedal, it might sound a bit not muddier, but not as top-endy as the original Rockman. You could probably hear that. So I would say for individual sounds, this thing wins out, the original. But when played in context of Boston and you just throw it in like a full mix, this thing seems to edge it out a little bit. And there are other features on the pedal that are really cool. I love this slider input gain. Like I said, though, I'm not really going to break down the pedals today in this video, but I do like that extra slider for that. And this is kind of funny too. I had another one of these before and I gave it to somebody. It was a friend of mine that's really good with electronics. And I asked him if he could make a pedal out of it. So I guess I was a little bit ahead of my time. No, I'm just kidding. And he took it apart and he could not make it into a pedal. No matter what he did, this thing was just not working out for that. So I got this one and I'm very happy I did because I love the sound of this. I feel like it's a little more flexible than the X100 pedal. Like I said, it's not as Boston-y, strangely, but it really sounds great. So I'm going to keep it in its original casing. You know, it has all the weird stuff to it. It's got this gain knob in the back that you need to use a screwdriver. It's all kind of crazy, but that's what I love about this thing. So I love the sound of this a lot for, I'd say, more of a general purpose. If I was doing some Def Leppard type tracks or, you know, things like that where I want that 80s sound, I think I would go with this. But if I'm rocking some Boston, I'd even leave it on my pedal board if I was in a band that was playing a cover of Boston, and I would just utilize this one for that. And I highly recommend wearing headphones and going back and listening to each full mix and really seeing what I'm talking about the mids of this one just sitting like right here. And it just it really makes for a great sound. It gels things together, and it has this overall glue to the whole thing when you put them all together. This one's a bit more 3D sounding and a little more versatile. So I know I keep repeating myself, but that's really the takeaway I got from this experiment. Okay, everyone, if you have either one of these, you know, maybe you have another version of this one. This is one of the earlier ones, but then eventually they came out with the X100 version of this as well. But I just don't have one of those. But now that I have this, I feel like I have a really good 1-2 punch, to use in different situations. And that's a big reason I geek out and buy gear like this sometimes, because in my line of work, you never know what you're going to need. Somebody might come in and really want the Boston tone, so I'd go with this. They might just want a cool 80s tone. Go with this. Either way, you can't lose. Okay, everyone, hopefully you enjoyed that, and let me know in the comments which one you preferred and which one would work out best for your situation. And we'll catch you at the next video. Thanks. Bye-bye. I always check if this is on because it takes like 1 million batteries, by the way. Oh, it's off.